Well, let's pick up on that conversation around the Johannesburg City Council. A High Court ruling halting today's planned special council sitting at the City of Joburg. In that ruling late last night, the court also said that the city's chair of chairs, Colleen Makhubele, was not the acting speaker. She's also been barred from holding any statutory functions of that position. Well, Makhubele is in studio here with me, and let's get quick reaction. I'm not going to ask you for your reaction as to how the court has ruled, but perhaps you will give us your sense as to whether or not you intend appealing. But more important for now is whether or not you had your party's backing at national level when you decided to go and defend this matter in court.
Yes. Thank you, Xoli, once again for having me here. Appreciate it. And I greet the listeners, including my national spokesperson, Dr. Bloom. Actually, we are very happy as the city on the ruling that the judge gave yesterday. The law was silent on what happens with the acting speaker if there is a vacancy on the speaker position. The legislature had a different view. Of course, the DA through the executive wing of the city had a different view, and that was tested in court yesterday. So the ruling really gave us a clear direction on how to proceed. We welcome the outcome, and we want now council to sit, because that's the meat of what we want to deal with. Who calls the meeting, who acts as an acting speaker, it's really neither here nor there. Yeah. It's not something that, I called myself to be. I'm not even interested in it. But what I'm interested in is that council must be called and council must sit, and within the stipulated 14 days from the time that Dagama was removed, city manager then should have called the meeting and we've elected a new speaker and deal with other things. Yeah. With the question that you've asked with Dr. Bloom and listening to him, and like I always say on media, I really don't want to be pitted against my leader. I respect him a lot and whatever he's saying, but I want to assure you that I have a backing of my party. COPE is not one person. It's not one person who will decide what happens where. COPE works with the constitution of COPE, and we are the party that respects and defends the constitution of this land. COPE cannot fire me for exercising my constitutional and democratic right to vote in council.
Well, he seems to suggest, and I'm sorry to cut in, he seems to suggest that you did not have the party's support in the manner in which you conducted yourself, your political posture at council post that vote of no confidence against Councillor Vasco da Gama, and that's why he says that there are now investigations which are at a sensitive stage.
Well, I'm not aware of any investigations, I'll be honest with you. My region, which I report to and have consistently said, is well aware. The president of the party is well aware of everything that has been happening. Of course, as I said, there was a grey area in law, which I don't give rise to law. I don't even call a council meeting. I give an instruction, of course, as in my position, which I thought I was acting speaker, but it's the legal team within the city that takes out the notice, having looked at everything that they need to look at, the time frames, the logistics, etc. They are the ones who run with the processes. So the fact that the legal team of the legislature issued the notice, they then were in line with our view that I'm the acting speaker. Everybody was confused, and now it has been clarified, and hence we say, truly, it's not even a debate anymore. It's neither here nor there. The main issue is that the acting city manager that we understand now from legislature, he must call the meeting. Let him call the meeting, let the meeting sit. I have my party's backing. My region has even issued a statement to that effect. And I don't know about any investigations that are happening, so we'll hear when they are finished with their own investigations. And indeed, if there's any wrongdoing, remember they went to the police station, made a lot of noise in the police station. Those are public documents. Where are they? Who has been found doing what? I mean, we should know by now, as councillors, that you have been found to have been bribed, you have been found to have done this. I want to know. No one has come forth with that information.
Speaking of bribes, there are these suggestions that have been made. In fact, that's the very reason why parties like Action SA went to court to open this case against the councillors that are suggested to have been influenced with money in order to vote in the manner in which they voted against Vasco da Gama. Let me ask a direct question to you. Did you pocket any monies for voting the manner in which you did? Because let it be clear. You voted against da Gama being speaker. And on top of that, you proceeded to make very emphatic political statements which were against Vasco da Gama. Did you pocket monies for you to take that kind of posture?
I didn't pocket money. I took a constitutional democratic right that I have to vote for the right thing. We are not as coalition desperate. Our survival as the party does not depend on the coalition with the DA. And this is what I think other leaders of my party need to understand, that we have to stand for what is correct, not being desperate to be in power through a coalition. If it means that we are removed from a coalition for standing up for what is correct constitutionally, so be it. But we are not going to be, Nelson Mandela made a very clear statement. He said, never, never again will this land suffer oppression. And he fought his life as well against white domination. So I will stand in my constitutional right to defend that, because Bloom does not sit in council. I sit in council. And the failure of this coalition, it's a forced agreement somewhere in Cape Town, in some people that don't understand the issues of Joburg, understand the residents of Joburg, the service delivery issue of Joburg. They are not allowing the councillors, the mayor herself, to run. She's under pressure to execute instruction without thinking. And that is what we are fighting against. Allow us as duly elected councillors to make decisions that the residents thought were fit enough, were leaders enough to be able to make, without having been instructed. I cannot be instructed by DA to vote. I cannot be instructed by whoever is the leader of the DA to vote. And my leader should not be under pressure because they are desperate for a coalition and to be in power. If you lose the chair of chairs...
Is that the impression you get? That some leaders at national...
Yes, they're desperate for this coalition. This coalition is not working. It's a failed coalition. The power is not balanced, and we keep saying that. Unless they fix the fundamentals within the coalition, it cannot be a coalition that has no common vision. The only vision is economic interdependence. Because I want to keep a mayor, I want to keep MMCs, therefore I'm going to vote this way. It cannot be that. We have to have more moral grounds for being in this coalition and a bigger vision than to keep DA happy, to keep Action SA happy. Everybody's fighting for positions right now. They know that if the mayor goes, the cookie has crumbled. But they are not addressing why are the issues. These leaders have not sat us with us councillors to say, councillors, can we understand why you voted this way? Is there something that we can reflect on or fix so that when it comes to the mayor's vote, we do things differently?
Are you saying that has not been done in your own party? It has not been done, no. All we hear is, not even in my own party, in ACDP, in UIM, that they fight, all they get is instruction that are coming from the leaders and saying, you are being removed, you are being fired, disciplinary hearing. Nobody has sat with us to say, can we understand your frustrations? And I respect parties like ATM, UDM, and even my President Dateli Kota for the position that he has taken to say we will not be dictated to by the DA. We are not a coalition desperate party. We defend the Constitution. I didn't violate the Constitution of the party. I didn't violate the Constitution of the land. Voting da Gama out is the right thing to do. If we lose the coalition because they don't want us to do the right thing, so be it. I'll sit on the opposition bench as a councillor if they don't want me. But I will not be dictated to. I'm a leader in my own right. I'm not a black sheep vote. I'm not a voting cow. I didn't join politics to be told what to do in council. I joined politics to make a difference. And that is what they need to understand. My own leader, Ntateli Kota, he fought his life for this constitution. I cannot do otherwise when I'm in council. And that's where I want us to end the conversation, that you are willing to forsake the very position you hold right now of chair of chairs. There's a vote of no confidence that is expected against you.
It's a knee-jerk reaction to the vote of no confidence.
If it does succeed, you'll take it on the chin because yours is a principled stance.
Amen to that.
All right. Colleen Makhubele, let me thank you very much for your time. She is the chair of chairs in the City of Johannesburg Council, and she's also a Congress of the People member. Well, we'll see how things shape out there. Thank you very much to Colleen for joining us in the studio here.